here is how few personal bests are achieved at a meet like this. But it's almost not about that, you know? I mean, I think sometimes in swimming, we actually get caught up in getting the meet designed to get the highest level of performance and ignore the fact that sometimes it's also just a competition where people show up and they race and they, you know, see who can get first, second, third. They see who can make the top 8 and get into finals, etc. And I feel like this meet had much more of that second thing and less of that focus just on the raw sort of like, how fast did you swim? Does that sound fair?
It's totally fair, and it's something we talk about often. I think that when you go to a meet like trials, whether it be wave 1, whether it be wave 2, whether it be 2016, and they're all together, I think the same could be said for NC2As compared to some of the conference meets as well, and
right.
for loads of different events. You go, you know, that the level of percentage of best times is quite low. And there's tons of reasons for that. I think, and so some of them are based around the psychology of the performance. And it is like the trials, it's an event like nothing else. So we had the 2 girls, Erin Cavanagh and Annie Behm, out at the event, and they both did themselves really proud, and they both made it back into the A finals, and they're walking out in live TV.
Yeah.
I'm prepared them for that. We haven't saying our sport hasn't prepared them for that over the past,
right.
you know,
it's
whatever,
a huge,
10 or 15
it's a huge
years.
leap up in pressure. Yeah.
Huge leap up in pressure. And then there's the other side of it. When you go to some of the highest level meets as well, it's really, really, really hard to get there. So a lot of people have to go all in to give everything they've got and have the swim of their life just to get there.
Right.
And it's hard to turn around and replicate that sometimes in a really short space of time. You could have had people qualify for Olympic trials, and within 7 days, they're back up on the block again.
Yeah.
And that actually might be easier to do than the people that maybe qualified 28 days ago and have to kind of figure out that balance of you know, holding that line of performance all the way through 28 days. So you've got that side of it as well that I think leads into the people swimming personal bests or not swimming personal bests. But the great thing about the wave 1 meet was just that level of competition, and where again USA Swimming or whoever the people are behind the, you know, the decisions that set the meet up, did a great job of giving some meaning to wave 1.
Yeah.
Through having A and B finals. So these are kids that, if we're just talking law of averages and rankings and stuff like that, these are kids that wouldn't have been getting second swims.
Yeah.
If it was one combined event. So it was a tough thing, I'm sure, for some of them that they weren't going to be at wave 2.
Yeah.
And if we just take it, it was one of the necessary decisions that USA Swimming had to make. They did a really nice job of giving some meaning and purpose to the kids that were at wave 1. Because what these kids got is they got an enhanced experience from the point of view that a lot of them did get a second swim.
Yeah.
And then got that experience of walking out on live TV and being able to handle that pressure on yourselves and learn how to enjoy that experience and enjoy that moment. Or if you didn't enjoy it in the moment, to be able to reflect on it and maybe learn how to handle that type of pressure on yourselves as you go forward.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice thing about it. And you know, when we look at the racing side of it, you know, coaches, we're walking hypocrites, right?
Well, speak for yourself, Paul. I've never been hypocritical in my life.
You know, but you know, as a profession, you know, we always, you know, process over outcome,
Sure.
over outcome. And then, you know, we get to any old swim meet and it's outcome.
Right. The kids swim and then we go, oh man, I know they could go faster than that.
Yeah. Instead of really looking at the components of performance and using things as stepping stones. So this was another opportunity to to really talk to the kids. And one of the things I spoke to Annie and Erin about, we went out there on, I'm really bad with the days of the week at the moment.
You flew a week ago, so it was June 1st, Tuesday, June 1st.
Oh, yeah. We flew out on Tuesday, and we were there. The meet started on Friday.
Yeah.
So we flew out, we swam at home on Tuesday, and we flew out after school on Tuesday afternoon. And we were out there Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Friday, Annie had her 100 backstroke, and then Erin time trialed the 200 freestyle, and they weren't very good.
Yeah.
Either of them, and from their own terms of expectations, but also just technically and tactically as well. Not just the overall performance wasn't good, but they weren't their best swims. And we came back that evening just to get in and swim. And one of the things I spoke to them about was, hey, look, if I get up tomorrow morning and I fall down the stairs, I don't get up and I don't say to myself, you know what, all those times over the past 6 months when I've been walking down the stairs, what a waste of time that's been. What the heck was I doing wrong over the past 6 months every time I walk down the stairs? What a waste of time. I've just wasted the past 6 months of my life walking up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
No, what I'd normally do is go, geez, I got to look around myself. I would have noticed that there was a bag in front of me that I tripped over in the moment.
Right.
So I said to the kids, and sometimes we do that with our races as well. You get out of the race, and if the outcome isn't the one you wanted at, you go back and you just throw away the last 3 weeks, the past 6 months, and saying, oh, what a waste of time it's been, rather than sit and look at the 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes of the race that you just did and say, well, what did I do in the moment that wasn't executed the way I've been preparing to execute?
Yeah.
And what information am I going to take away from that and try to do better the next time? So I think sometimes, as we all get caught up in it. Coaches do, parents do, athletes do. It's really normal. We get caught up in trying to say, well, I deserve performance. Look how hard I work. Look at all that I sacrificed to be here. I deserve to swim really fast.
Yeah.
And they're right.
Yes.
They do. However, unfortunately, life doesn't care. What you've done in the past or what you deserve to get out of it. And you still got to be able to execute and perform in the moment. And what was really good about trials was there was a lot of people not swimming best times. It was easier to have that conversation.
Right.
Because you can have a shared experience, even though you're not there all 600 of you together, you can still have that shared experience of it and talk to the athletes about it and get them to really look. The other great thing USA Swimming have is they have video review ability. You can go look back at the races. The kids can look back at their races. You can do it together separately and come back and talk about it then. So, there's a really good teaching opportunity. And because most people are going to trials with a smaller number of athletes than you'd normally be going to a swim meet with. You have that additional time as a coach to really invest it back into the swimmers that are there and just have some time to talk to them about, critically evaluating and critically analyzing your in-moment performance rather than taking a step back and looking to criticize your preparation and all you've done over the period of time leading into it.
Yeah. I want to just put some structure around what you're talking about, because it's actually basic optimism, pessimism that you employed there when you were talking about walking down the stairs and stuff. We have a tendency when an event happens that triggers a negative emotion in us. And when you don't swim as fast as you can, it's totally normal to be disappointed, to be angry, to be sad, whatever. Our natural inclination is to attach some permanence to the event. And we do that retroactively as well. So exactly as you said, you look back. I mean, we've seen this as coaches all the time with swimmers. They have a disappointing race and then they go, wow, all of a sudden they doubt their preparation because they've retroactively applied that disappointment back when it's not really accurate to it. So it takes work. It takes active sort of interruption of the cognitive process to compartmentalize it and sort of isolate it almost to the 1 or 2 minute event that happened. Yes, that was a disappointing event. You want to make sure it's good to acknowledge that, but also, work against attaching that long-term and retroactive permanence